the bills piled high on the table, the phone ringing off the hook, a tightening pain in the chest like a clenched fist, the mind racing in circles of panic. Have you ever been in that place where everything falls apart at once and despair screams louder than any hope? It was precisely at that moment of total collapse that she made a discovery. Florence Shinn, in the 1920s, when the whole world was sinking into the Great Depression and people were losing everything overnight, she realized something that would forever change how we understand the power of the human word. The universe doesn't respond to your lengthy pleas. It doesn't respond to your panic. It doesn't respond to your desperate cries for miracles. The universe responds to the tone of spiritual authority. Your word, she said, is your magic wand. But there's a secret within that secret. A method so simple that the doubting mind dismisses it. So powerful that whoever applies it once never again resorts to begging. 7 seconds. In the epicenter of absolute chaos, when everything seems lost and the inner storm rages out of control, you stop. You take one breath. You align yourself internally with the source of all power, and you utter a single command, short, with absolute faith. Remember the passage where Jesus looked at the storm on the sea and simply said 3 words, "Peace, be still." He didn't plead. He didn't negotiate. He didn't explain why he deserved the calm. He commanded, and the winds obeyed. That's the difference between those who plead and those who command, between those who suffer and those who govern their own reality, between those who hope life gets better and those who declare it already has. You'll now discover how to use these 7 seconds to reorganize any situation, how to speak once and release the outcome, how to rest in certainty instead of living in anxiety, how to seal with anticipatory gratitude what hasn't yet manifested but already exists in the spiritual realm, because there's an invisible current between your word and the movement of worlds. When you learn to activate it, everything changes. Your mind stops racing. Your finances reorganize. Your relationships find harmony. Your health is restored. 3 words, 7 seconds, infinite power. And what you're about to discover will change not just how you speak, but how you live. The secret of the 7 seconds isn't in the duration. It's in the vibrational quality of the moment. It's the time it takes for your soul to fully align with spiritual truth and decree from a place of absolute power. First second, you stop. Literally stop everything you're doing. Panic wants you to run, to fuss, to seek desperate solutions. You stop. Second and third seconds, you breathe. A deep breath that connects your racing mind with the center of peace within you. It's not a nervous breath. It's the breath of someone who knows they have power. Fourth and fifth seconds, you align. You feel the divine presence dwelling within you. You recognize you're not alone in this storm. There's a greater force operating through you, and you are its conscious channel. Sixth and seventh seconds, you command. A short, clear, definitive phrase. It's not a request. It's not a mechanical affirmation. It's a spiritual command, a divine decree issuing from your mouth. Divine order governs my life now. Nothing can stop what God has already aligned for me. Peace, be still. I am prosperity in action. My health is restored. Harmony reigns in all my relationships. See the difference? When you plead, you vibrate with lack. When you affirm mechanically, you vibrate with mental effort. When you command, you vibrate with spiritual authority. And the universe only recognizes authority. After these 7 seconds comes the hardest part, letting go. Not repeating the command 50 times in the same day. Not constantly checking if it's working. Not contradicting it with words of doubt for the rest of the day. You spoke once. You sealed it with gratitude. Now live as if it's already true. Because in the spiritual realm, it's already true. Your word activated the law, set invisible forces in motion, realigned circumstances. What you decreed already exists. It's just descending from the invisible to the visible. And the more you practice these 7 seconds of command, the faster the manifestation. The more natural the process becomes. The more you understand that you're not asking the universe for favors. You are reminding the universe who you truly are, a spiritual being inhabiting a physical body. with divine authority to reorganize your own reality through the spoken word with absolute faith. There's an abyss between those who plead and those who command. And this abyss determines whether you live as a spiritual beggar or as a divine heir. When you plead, you're assuming you don't deserve it, that you need to convince God you're worthy, that perhaps, if you beg enough, with enough tears, He'll take pity on you and grant your request. That is spiritual blasphemy. When you command, you're claiming your divine inheritance. You're recognizing that abundance, health, peace, love are already yours by cosmic right. You're not asking, you're claiming. Listen to the vibrational difference, pleading, "Please God, help me pay these bills. I can't take this financial pressure anymore. I beg you, I need a miracle." Command, "Abundance flows naturally through my life now. All my needs are met. I am a divine channel of prosperity." Do you feel the completely different energy? Pleading vibrates with desperation, lack, unworthiness. Command vibrates with certainty, authority, natural right. When Jesus said, "Peace, be still," to the storm, He wasn't asking the winds for a favor. He was using spiritual authority. He was commanding from the place of power that dwells within every human being. That place of power dwells within you too. Every time you plead, you're denying that power. Every time you despair, you're forgetting who you are. Every time you beg for miracles, you're blaspheming against your own divinity. Stop pleading. Start commanding. When the bill arrives and you feel panic rising, stop for 7 seconds and command. "Money flows easily to me now." When physical pain tries to bring you down, stop for 7 seconds and command, "My body is in perfect divine harmony." When a relationship is in crisis, stop for 7 seconds and command, "Love governs all my relationships now." The difference isn't just in the words, it's in the vibration behind the words. It's in the inner place from which you speak. You are not a victim of circumstances. You are the creator of circumstances through the words spoken with spiritual authority. And when you command from that place of power, the universe has no choice. It obeys. Because you are no longer begging. You are legislating. You are no longer reacting. You are creating. You are no longer pleading for miracles. You are being the miracle. Let me tell you 3 stories that prove the power of the 7-second command. 3 ordinary people who discovered how to govern reality through the authorized word. Emily received an eviction notice on a Tuesday morning. 20 days to move out. The rent money had gone to her sick daughter's treatment. Despair threatened to overwhelm her, but she remembered the 7 seconds. She stopped. She breathed. She aligned herself. She commanded, "My home is secure under divine protection now." She spoke once. She sealed it with gratitude. She didn't repeat it. She didn't keep checking. She lived as if it was already resolved. On Thursday, the landlord called. He had received an unexpected inheritance and decided to pay off the entire building. Emily could stay without paying rent for 6 months. The spiritual law in action. David was in court, facing a lawsuit that could destroy his 15-year-old business. His lawyer had said the chances were minimal. While waiting to be called, David used the 7 seconds. He stopped. He breathed. He aligned himself. He commanded, "Divine justice governs this situation now." He didn't mentally argue with fear. He didn't review possible negative scenarios. He rested in the certainty of the command. The judge dismissed the case due to a technical error no one had noticed before. The prosecutor arrived late and requested dismissal. In 20 minutes, it was all over. Divine order reorganizing circumstances. Olivia was in the hospital emergency room with chest pains that doctors couldn't explain. Tests showed nothing, but the pain was real and unbearable. In the midst of the crisis, she applied the 7 seconds. She stopped. She breathed. She aligned herself. She commanded, "My body is in perfect divine harmony now." She didn't fight the pain with mental resistance. She didn't despair over the indefinite diagnoses. She sealed the command with anticipatory gratitude. In 15 minutes, the pain completely vanished. It never returned. The power of the word reorganizing physical matter. 3 different situations. 3 different people. The same spiritual principle. When you stop reacting to chaos and start commanding from inner peace, reality reorganizes itself. It's not magic. It's not positive thinking. It's not autosuggestion. It's spiritual law. It's divine authority. It's the power of the word spoken with absolute faith. Emily, David, and Olivia discovered they weren't victims of circumstances. They were legislators of their own reality. And so are you. The question isn't whether it works. The question is when you will stop pleading and start commanding. Here's where most people fail. They want to control the how. They specify not just what they want, but exactly how it should happen. And in doing so, they kill the miracle before it's born. When you command, abundance flows naturally through my life now, your mind immediately wants to know, where will the money come from? Through your current job, an inheritance, a business, an investment? Stop. You are not the universe's operations manager. You are the creative director. Your job is to decree what you want. The job of divine intelligence is to orchestrate how it will manifest. When you specify the how, you're limiting infinite possibilities to a few options your mind can conceive. You're telling the universe, I only accept abundance in these 3 ways I can imagine. What if there's a 4th way you haven't even dreamed of? A 5th that would be even better? A 10th that would be perfect and easy? You lost everything by wanting to control. The spiritual command specifies the what, not the how. My health is restored. Period. Not. My health is restored through this specific medicine I researched online. My relationships are in harmony. Period. Not. My relationships are in harmony because so-and-so will change their behavior exactly as I want. The love of my life is coming to me now. Period. Not. John will fall in love with me and propose in 6 months. See the difference? The first command opens all possibilities. The second closes almost all of them. Your only job after the command is to remain receptive to unexpected avenues, to those opportunities that appear in strange ways, to those casual encounters that aren't casual, to those ideas that seem to come out of nowhere. Divine intelligence operates through synchronicities, through impossible coincidences, through doors that open where there wasn't even a wall. But if you're obsessed with your 3 mental routes, you'll miss the 4th divine route. Command, release, receive. Command what you want with absolute clarity. Completely release how it will happen. Receive with gratitude when it comes in a totally unexpected way. That's the mechanics of non-control. You control the decree. God controls the delivery. You control the vibration. The universe controls the manifestation. You control the faith. Life controls the form. And when you stop trying to do God's job, God can do God's job, which is always better, faster, and more perfect than anything your limited mind could ever orchestrate. Now you'll learn how to transform the 7 seconds of command into a daily practice that reshapes your entire reality. It's not complicated. It's simple. But simple doesn't mean easy until it becomes a habit. Upon waking, even before getting out of bed, you have your first moment of power. Before your mind starts listing the day's problems, before anxiety takes over, before the fear-driven autopilot takes control, 7 seconds to command the entire day. Stop, breathe, align, command. This day flows in perfect divine order. Everything I need finds me easily today. I am a divine channel of miracles in action. A single declaration sets the vibrational frequency for the next 16 hours. Throughout the day, you become a guardian of your own mouth. Every word that comes out of it is creating your reality. There is no neutral word. There is no innocent comment. Everything you say is programming the universe to deliver exactly that. When someone asks how you are, instead of rattling off a list of problems, you respond, I am living in increasing abundance. I am experiencing perfect health. I am surrounded by love and harmony. When the bills arrive in the mail, instead of groaning, I'm broke again, you declare, money flows easily to me from multiple sources now. When your body aches, instead of lamenting, I'm a wreck, you command, my body is regenerating in perfect health now. Each micro-command throughout the day reinforces the frequency established in the morning. Before sleeping, you have your final moment of power, when the mind is relaxing and more receptive to subconscious programming. 7 seconds to seal the day and program the night. Stop, breathe, align. Command. As I sleep, divine intelligence organizes all areas of my life. I awaken refreshed and prosperous. My dreams are messages of guidance and peace. 3 critical moments: morning, midday, night. 7 seconds each. 21 seconds a day that can revolutionize your entire life. The difference between those who apply it and those who merely read about it is the difference between living in increasing abundance and living in constant lack. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be consistent. You don't need to believe completely at first. You need to act as if you believe until the evidence proves you were right. 7 seconds in the morning. Vigilance throughout the day. 7 seconds at night. Your new routine of power begins now. In this moment, something has changed within you. It's not imagination. It's real transformation. You who started this video reacting to the chaos of life now know the power to command reality through the authorized word. You are no longer the same person you were 20 minutes ago. You discovered you are not a victim of circumstances. You are the creator of circumstances. You understood you don't need to plead for miracles. You are the miracle in action. You learned you don't need to convince God to help you. You need to remember that God already operates through you. From now on, when the storm comes, you will no longer be the person screaming in the middle of the hurricane. You will be the person who stops for 7 seconds and declares, "Peace, be still." And the storm will obey. When the bill arrives and fear tries to dominate, you will no longer be the person who despairs. You will be the person who commands. Abundance flows naturally through my life now, and money will find its way to you. When pain tries to bring you down, you will no longer be the person who victimizes yourself. You will be the person who declares, "My body is in perfect divine harmony," and healing will manifest. 3 words, 7 seconds. Infinite power. This is your new identity. No longer a spiritual beggar asking the universe for favors. Now a divine legislator decreeing your cosmic inheritance. Comment now on a situation in your life where you will apply the 7 seconds of command. Publicly declare your new spiritual stance. Like this video if you felt a real awakening happening within you. Every like spreads this frequency of power to other people who need to discover their divine authority. Subscribe to the channel to receive more revelations on how to live as a spiritual heir, not as a beggar of life. Share with someone who is living in despair and needs to discover the power of the word commanded with absolute faith. And always remember, you are no longer reacting to life. You are commanding life. You are no longer pleading for changes. You are decreeing transformations. You are no longer waiting for something to get better. You are declaring that it already has. Because your word is your magic wand. And true magicians don't plead. They command. So it is. So it shall be. So it is done. And so may it be in your life, now and forever.